the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question though.
Out there.
Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. Now, I'm asking the mayor and the common council president and the common council. Show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. Like, what you want? Like what? Oh, yeah. That's how I was yesterday. I was like that yesterday. Like yesterday, I was so completely and totally. I got my COVID 2023 shot, and I was like, my body went, excuse me, we're not working today. If you could come back tomorrow. Like I would tell my arm, I would tell my hand to adjust the microphone, and my hand would be like, excuse me, all those needing adjustment of body parts, return tomorrow. My arm was like, I ain't moving, I ain't going to work. So yeah, it's been one of those days. It was one of those days until I got a text today from somebody. I got a text from somebody. And I had already read about it, and I went, okay. And so I thought I would talk about it, but I think it's better for me to read it from urbanmilwaukee.com. Jeremy Janine, or Janin, Jannene, I don't want to mess up the name, did an interview. Mayor Johnson backs pay hikes for elected officials, including him. Right? So it raises for 81 employees, defended by mayor's chief of staff in an exclusive interview. So, Mayor Cavalier Johnson could be about to expend considerable political capital pursuing a pay increase for 81 city officials, including himself. Under the proposal, every elected official in the city would receive a 15% salary increase after they secure re-election in 2024. The dozens of non-elected officials on the list, primarily cabinet members, their top deputies, would receive at least 10% bump immediately, and many of them would be eligible to make far more than the mayor in the future. It's a move Johnson is backing because last time city elected officials were given a pay increase was 2008, and for several years, administration officials have said the city has struggled to attract top outside talent for cabinet level openings. I don't even know what that means in terms of attracting people from outside the city when you cry and complain. And anyway, The proposal also seeks wage increases of at least 2% for all general city employees. Now, something's wrong here. They want 2% in 2 consecutive budgets and additional salary increases for longevity and on a per position basis. There's something fundamentally wrong here when the mayor gets a 20% raise, deputies and everybody and all the department heads get a 15% raise along with the aldermen and women, but yet 2% for general city employees. The article goes on to say it was very intentional to look at our general city employees first. Yeah, you looked at them, you just didn't give them a raise that was commensurate to their job because they actually get the work done. John said Johnson's chief of staff, Nick DeCianto, I may be saying the name incorrectly, my apologies, in an interview with Urban Milwaukee, the city has experienced record vacancy levels in the past year. We lost many employees citing salary as a reason. And we just anecdotally and informally know people didn't apply for positions because of salaries. The move to boost executive pay follows Johnson's negotiation for a 2% city sales tax this summer. That's DeCianto, hope I'm saying the name right, said, until we knew we had financial security, we didn't touch the executive raises. We touched the other ones knowing we had to do it regardless. The proposal must still be formally introduced and approved by the full Common Council, but the DeCianto said the mayor's office has worked with the Department of Employee Relations on a proposal for more than a year, and it has expected to cost approximately $1 million a year. So you knew before you asked for the 2% what you were going to use it for because you said you needed it to cover police and fire and all those other things. Now you turn around and you know that the only way that you can pass a raise is if it's for the next elected official, right? So anything, if I know that I'm running for mayor next April, it has to pass in the prior administration. So for the new administration, for it to take effect. So whenever a person changes office, right, the next person gets the increase. Or if you're reelected to your office, you get the increase. Just so you can't just vote yourself an increase, and that's that. So you knew this a year ago when you were talking and negotiating for the 2%. The chief of staff said, it is not lost on me that the timing with the sales tax seems dubious, and it is. But the reality was we couldn't do this unless we have financial security. We knew we had to do with our general. It's just like, anyway. The proposal follows a Johnson-backed initiative approved last summer that allows a list of specific positions. Now, I never knew that people could make more than the mayor. I was always under the impression that the ordinance stated that the mayor had to be the highest paid person in the city. The mayor's $147,335 has long served the city's salary cap, but the mayor's pay would grow to $169,000. $22,000 raise. Common Council would grow from 73.2 to 84.2. The 5 highest paid non-elected positions: police, fire chief, commissioner of health, public works, and the director of the Department of Administration would see their maximum salary grow, get this, from $171,838 to $229,958. Non-elected officials are subject to position-based salary ranges, and under the proposed increases would see their exact salary grow by the greater of 10% above their current rate or the new minimum for their position. And then they start comparing themselves to other cities. We can't get people because we don't pay a lot of money. You have the audacity to say inflation was 43%, when in fact all you're doing is adding up numbers. I never heard anybody that was a city head or police or fire chief complain that their salary was too low. And each of them took the job knowing what the salary already was. So it couldn't be that. We've had commissioners of health come and go. We've had directors of Department of Administration come and go. We've had fire and police chiefs come and go, and nobody complained about what the salary was. So it couldn't have been that. But yet, for some reason, out of all of this, the one person who's running for re-election next year, the mayor, $22,000. You knew what your salary was when you came in. But what we're going to go with is that it doesn't take effect until the next election. So you calculated a year ago, got the information, sat on it, and then waited until you're up for election, knowing that if it passes, and what idiot in their right mind would not vote themselves a 20% raise? What idiot in their right mind in the Common Council would say, no, that's okay. I don't want a 15% pay raise. Now, you went into the job. It's not like you work 40 hours a week anyway. So I'm not impressed. 833-212-1017 is the number. When you know the increase doesn't take effect till next year and you're running for re-election, when you know you have a 2% increase on people who can't get a raise, what does that make you? That sounds like fraud to me. But I mean, hey, they're elected officials. But then again, they're elected officials. They voted themselves, and they're considering voting themselves a 20 and 15% raise while they're giving city employees 2. Really? From 20% to 2%? Who does that?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Some fuck niggas, that's who.
Harris, and I am Milwaukee. Truth in the
Sorry.